Type 1 diabetes is tough.
It's constant, tiring, full of highs and lows.
You're constantly thinking, checking, calculating, and it can sometimes be stressful.
But it doesn't have to be difficult. As a type 1 diabetic, I have learnt that even though diabetes will always be a part of me, it can't define me and it won't change how I act as a person. I can still do anything that non-diabetics can do.
As a diabetic, I have learnt that my diabetes doesn't control me, I control it. Through things like carb counting, I'm able to eat what I want when I want, although it requires more time, effort, calculations. I can be just like everyone else, except my pancreas just doesn't work.
I've learned that I can definitely prove myself wrong and prove other people wrong, because living with diabetes doesn't have to hold me back. I think being diabetic, I've always wanted to prove to myself and to people around me that I can do the same as anyone else. I can be the best version of myself and that I don't have to be held back by my condition.
I've learned the only thing holding me back from anything is me. Not my diabetes, me. And if I say I can do something, you can be sure that I will do it.
I have learned that I am stronger than I realize.
Picking yourself up and brushing yourself off is just part of everyday living with type 1 diabetes, and coming back from those highs and lows and not feeling great about it is something that you have to do every single day. At the same time, I've learned how to be really independent from a very young age, because taking responsibility for yourself and your body and your condition is a key part of type 1 diabetes, especially when you grow up with it.
Being a diabetic, I have learned how to be stronger in myself and to stand up for what I know is right, and to stand up for myself in situations where it's required. I've learned that I am stronger than I ever thought I was, and that is due to this condition. I have found that I have the innate ability to just get on with things, because if I didn't and acted like the world was crashing down around me, then I'd get nothing done.
Testing blood sugars, taking insulin is just a small part of what it means to be diabetic. That in itself takes incredible strength and motivation every single day.
I've learned that taking care of myself means taking care of my mind as well, and anyone living with a chronic illness will definitely attest to the fact that there's a huge mental aspect that comes with living with a physical condition. And as a diabetic, I've experienced firsthand how distorted your relationship can become with your body, with food, with healthcare professionals, with people around you, in an attempt to try and keep up with all the repercussions of diabetes. But it really is important, and that's something that I've come to terms with as well, is to take care of your mental health, to reach out and ask for help, to try and give yourself a mental break as much as possible, and not beat yourself up all the time about not being perfect or not being on it, because that just isn't possible.
I learned that I can't be perfect, and that's okay. I'm not always going to have perfect blood sugars. I'm not always going to have energy and effort every single day, and that's okay. It's okay to have bad days, and it's okay to rest.
Type 1 diabetes has taught me that I'm not alone, and it has shown me that everyone supports me in what I'm doing. Yes, it is a struggle sometimes, but I always have help to get through those struggles, and in the end I can live life to the fullest.
I have been given the opportunity to meet so many amazing people, to effect so much change, and to meet so many people that I am in immense awe of, because they are going through the same thing as I am. And I'm so happy to meet other people and to be able to help them in return.
I've learned that I have incredible support from friends, family. I attend psychology, and I also joined Our Lives, Our Voices. In this group, I have met so many incredible type 1 diabetics, and we're able to help each other and also create events, programs, art, videos for young people with type 1 diabetes, and also raise awareness.
I have made so many friends through diabetic camps, weekends away and day trips out. and I've been able to meet celebrities with type 1 diabetes and hear their story and get tips from them on different things. I've also been able to be part of Our Lives, Our Voices, which is really helpful, and it's also really fun and enjoyable.
The most amazing thing about having diabetes has been that it's introduced me to incredible people, some really, really inspirational friends, some inspirational healthcare professionals, and it's also just introduced me to this whole community of people living with diabetes or caring for people with diabetes. And being a leader with Our Lives, Our Voices, and being able to raise awareness and fight for some of these people is just the most incredible thing ever.
Diabetes is a chronic illness. It's difficult for anyone to go through.
Diabetics are twice as likely to have depression, anxiety, and serious psychological distress.
If you're a type 1 diabetic, just know you're not alone. There is support for you in many different places.
Diabetes doesn't have to control or ruin your life. Look for the simplest of positives each day and just know how amazingly you're doing. I am type 1 diabetic.
I am a type 1 diabetic.
I am type 1 diabetic.
I am a type 1 diabetic.